Welcome to section 0.7 and 0.8, perimeter and area. The objective today is to find the perimeter and area of two-dimensional figures. So first we need to know what perimeter and area are. The perimeter is a distance around a figure, and the area is the number of square units that cover a surface, measured in square units. So the perimeter is going around, the area is on the object. So perimeter formulas. So rectangles and parallelograms, you're basically going to add up the sides. Since you have two lengths and two widths, one of the ways to write it is P equals 2 and then L plus W in parentheses. Or you can do P equals 2L plus 2W. For triangles, we just add up the three sides. So perimeter is A plus B plus C. And for circles, we call the perimeter circumference. And circumference can be in one of two forms. The circumference is 2 pi r, for r being the radius, or c equals pi d if you are given the diameter. For area, we have some formulas. For rectangles, it's the length times the width. For parallelograms, they're basically rectangles that are tilted a little bit. So we have our area formula is the base times the height. And if you have a parallelogram, they will give you a little height, a dashed line for the height usually, like this. So we know what the height is. For triangles, we use area is the half the base times the height. Another way to write this is area equals BH over 2. It's another way to write it. And for circles, the area is pi r squared. So for circles, we need to have a radius, and the formula is pi r squared. You need to know all these perimeter formulas and area formulas going forward, and you should already know them, I hope. So here we have two figures. For number one, it says find the perimeter and the area. This is a right triangle. So first we'll find the perimeter, and the perimeter is just adding up the sides. 9 plus 12 plus 15. And when you add them all up, you get 36 units. Since there's no figure given to us, no feet, inches, centimeters, or meters, we're going to label it units. For our area, the base is 12, the height is 9, and we're going to take half of that. And when you get this, you get 108 over 2, which is 54 units squared. You can write the squared symbol, or you can put SQ for square. So the next thing we have is a circle for number 2. So first we'll look at the perimeter. First we'll look at perimeter. If you recall, our perimeter is our circumference. So our circumference in this case is pi, and we're given the diameter, so pi times 12. And for this, we're going to round to the nearest tenth, unless you're told otherwise. 12 times pi is 37.699. We're going to round to the nearest tenth, so 37.7 units. The area of our circle, we do need to know the radius, and the radius is half the diameter. So our radius is 6. So radius is 6, so we have pi r squared, which is pi times 6 squared, which is 36 pi, and 36 pi is equal to 113.09, and we're going to round to the nearest tenth. We have 113.1 units squared. So that is perimeter area of simple figures. We also have compound shapes. In compound shapes, we just have to break them into parts we can find the areas for. So I'm going to split this into two pieces. I'm going to call this area part 1, this part 2. So if we find the area of part 1, it is a rectangle. So that's our length times our width, which in this case is 11 times 11, which is 121 units squared. That's area 1. When we find area 2, it's a parallelogram. I'm going to draw in the height here, if it lets me. So we have 11 inches on the top here. The total height is 18. So the height here of object 2 is 7 inches. So we're going to use that 7 inches and the 11. For our parallelogram, we have the area is the base times the height, which in this case, our base is 11. Our height is 7, and we get 77 units squared. So our total area, when we add them up, is 121 plus 77, which equals 198 units squared. Here's another compound shape. And in this compound shape, we have a semicircle on the top, and we have a rectangle on the bottom. We want to find the area and the perimeter. So first, I'm going to find the area of my semicircle. So the area of our circle is pi r squared. But we only want half of a circle, so we have to divide by 2. Our diameter here is 22, so our radius is half of that, which is 11. So for our area of our circle, our semicircle, we have pi 11 squared over 2, which is 121 pi over 2. 121 pi divided by 2 is 190, when you round it, 0.1 feet squared. Now we're going to find the area of our rectangle. The area is length times the width, so 13 times 22 is 286 feet squared. And then 286 plus 190.1 equals 476.1 feet squared. That is our total area. Next, we're going to find the perimeter, and we're going to do the top part here first, which is a semicircle. So we want half the perimeter of a full circle, which is our circumference. If you remember, we had our circumference is pi d, and we want half of it, so we're going to divide by 2. So we're going to have 22 pi over 2, which is 11 pi, which 11 pi equals 34.6 feet. Then we're going to find the perimeter of our 3 sides of our rectangle here. So this perimeter will be 13 plus 22 plus 13, which is 48 feet. And our total perimeter is 34.6 plus 48, which equals 82.6 feet. So there we have our area of our compound object and the perimeter of our compound object. That is all for sections 0.7 and 0.8, finding the perimeter and area of two-dimensional figures. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.